God, I love that music. Hey, how's everybody doing out there, folks? I am Walter, your independent travel advisor, and I've got Peter. Hi, Peter.
Hello, Walter. Hello, everybody.
Man, do you like that music? Huh?
That music was good. It made me want to get on a cruise right now.
See, and that's what I love about it. Hey, folks, everybody, welcome tonight. This is Cruise Chat Live, our Thursday night edition here on YouTube. And tonight, we've got a very special guest, Peter from the Cruise RX channel. We are going to be talking about, let's see, which way do I point? That way. Next to Peter, we're going to be talking about an amazing... Yes, can you point to it? Yes, because you're closer to it. There you go.
Yep, right there.
We're talking about an amazing Panama Canal cruise that Peter is going to be hosting with the Cruise RX team. Let's see who we got. Hey, Tara. Hi, Tara. Hi, Becky. Hi, Rick. Hi, everybody. How's everybody doing? Thanks so much for tuning in tonight to Cruise Chat Live. If you have any questions at all, so tonight we're going to be talking, obviously we're going to be talking about Peter learning his backstory, but we're going to be talking about Oceania cruises again. I know that is a favorite topic of a lot of y'all. And we're going to be talking about a bucket list cruise, which is 20 nights. Not only a full transit Panama Canal cruise, but 2 transits through the Panama Canal. So that's going to be really, really cool. So as always, if you guys have, what, huh? What?
Yeah, that way and then that way, right?
That way, yeah. We're going to go west. We're going to come back. I mean, Peter and I rehearsed this earlier, so this is all part of a closely choreographed thing that we've got going on here. But hey, there you go, Becky. I love it. You see that, Peter? Cruising is good, RX. See, it's good.
Hey, I love that. Thank you, Becky. I love that.
I think you got your new tagline, Peter. There you go.
I think beautiful. So. I like that. Yeah.
Thank you, Becky. Becky is actually doing a Panama Canal cruise very soon on the Island Princess. So
nice.
That's going to be truly awesome. So, folks, as always, if you have any questions at all, drop them into the chat. We'll do our best to talk about it. But we're going to be talking about Oceania cruises. And specifically the Oceana Sirena, which is the same ship that Rebecca and I really enjoyed over the holidays. And then this amazing 20-night Panama Canal cruise that starts March 23rd through April 20th, 2025. We are currently booking that cruise. So if you want to join, it is going to be amazing. But first, oh, look at Becky, 82 days. 82 days, and Becky will be doing the Panama Canal on the island.
Nice.
Oh, I'm so excited for you guys. I'm so excited for you guys. And Becky, as always, I love your photo with the dog. That is just absolutely beautiful. I love that. I know. Are your dogs hanging out, Peter? Are they there?
Yes, I was just looking at one of them. Yeah, he's chewing on something, but it seems okay.
As long as it's not a ship model. Dog's okay.
No,
right.
No, those are safe and sound right there. Yeah.
So, Peter, for those folks that have not found your channel yet, Cruise RX, why don't you start out by telling us a little bit about you and Cruise RX?
Sure. Well, Cruise RX, it's Cruise-RX is the YouTube channel, and it started out. We've been cruising for 15 years, and it started with Royal Caribbean, Sovereign of the Seas, which is not around anymore.
The Sovereign of the Seas. Wow, that's a classic.
Yep. And she is not around anymore. She's been scrapped. But it started with that, just a weekend cruise out of Port Canaveral to the Bahamas, and that kind of started this chain going that we really enjoy cruising. And and then it just turned into Alaska, it turned into Mediterranean, it turned into Caribbean. And then we thought, we love cruising so much. Let's start a YouTube channel. Let's start a website and focus on cruising. And so then we partnered up with you to book cruises.
Thank you.
And so it's a labor of love, right? So we love going on cruises, and we're happiest when we're on a cruise ship. And we've got Celebrity Beyond coming up here shortly that we'll be on with Captain Kate. And
with Captain Kate.
With Captain Kate.
Nice.
So we're looking forward to that. We're staying in a retreat. We're going to do a review of the retreat on the Edge class. So we'll see what that's like.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's really how it started, and it's our love. It's what we love to do.
I think that's how so many of these channels got started. Like I think Ben and David will tell you the same thing. Stephanie will tell you the same thing. We love it so much that we just want to share with everybody and say this is what it's all about.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's how Ben and David met. I'm not sure, but I think it was because of cruising. Yeah, well, Ben was a travel flight attendant. So
He was. Oh my
yeah.
God. We've got to get him to show the picture sometime. I saw the picture recently of what he looked like with the hair, and oh my God.
Yeah.
Ben
Yeah,
was
I
amazing.
saw a picture of and I forget where I saw it, but I think it was on their YouTube channel. They put it up. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh my God, amazing. So Cruise RX. So what do you concentrate on that channel? What kinds of content are you producing?
We do ship review, most industry news, packing tips, and then ship reviews. And we try and focus on as much as we can comparing suites. So the Royal Caribbean suite experience, we just did MSC. We're working on that video. And then celebrity, but the retreat on celebrity is different depending on the ship class. So
Right.
the millennial ship class to the solstice class to the edge class, they all have retreat, but it is night and day difference. So we've done millennial and we've done the solstice class. We did equinox, and so now we're doing the beyond to do the edge class, and then we stayed in the yacht club, and MSC had really good fares. That was not expensive at all.
That's for sure.
That was really good pricing. So so that's kind of the niche we're trying to carve out, doing that too. And then sharing, as we hear news stories come up, talking about things like the 3-year cruise to nowhere. You heard about that cruise where it was a 3-year cruise, and then they got canceled, and all these people put up like $150,000.
Yeah. You kind of knew it wasn't going to happen just from the beginning, but you kind of hoped it did because of all the people that were putting money in on it. But yeah, I do feel bad about that one. Now, everybody knows that Rebecca does not like to be on camera. How about Barbara, your other half?
She is started, so she will be in the next MSC video.
What?
She is joining the camera, and she started something called Bites with Barb. So she's doing a food review. So we did that. So yeah, she is going to be going on camera. So
maybe she can talk to Rebecca. Maybe get her to talk to Rebecca sometime when we get together. Yeah. Shh.
Yeah.
I don't think Rebecca can hear me. She's like in the other room.
She's around the corner, so I don't know if she's hearing me. I'll hear about it later.
Great.
Yeah.
Rick is going on the Beyond in April. Nice, Rick.
Oh, nice.
Yep. And Rick, come on. I hope you're going to come with us. So Rick is thinking about coming to Alaska with us, also with Oceana next June. So after your cruise coming up there. So Rick, wow, you're going to have a great time on the Beyond. It's going to be absolutely stunning. We've been on the Solstice class so far. That's all we've been on. We have not gone up to the Edge class yet.
We love Solstice class. The grass, the grass courts up top.
Yeah.
The glass blowing. In fact, I don't have it in front of me. We made some glass objects. And but Alaska was an awesome cruise. So Rick, is that well, Rick, you're doing the Celebrity Beyond, but Alaska is an awesome cruise. Yeah.
So we're trying to convince him to come up to Alaska with us on the Oceana. So we're working on that.
And you know what? It's a great cruise for anybody who tends to get seasick. It's a great cruise because it's the inside passage. You don't even notice the ship moving. So
exactly. Yep. So great point. So let's talk a little bit about, so you have an amazing, like spectacular, it's not even a bucket list going through the Panama Canal. It's like the whole trip. It's just absolutely stonking amazing. So why don't you tell everybody where did this come from? Why the Panama Canal?
Because it's funny. It started on we traveled with a group, and in 2019 we did the Mediterranean, and we were on the Celebrity Edge. And as a group, we always did the future cruise. That COVID hit, so it kind of messed everything up.
Right.
But we were on the cruise, and we said, where do we want to go next? And everyone kind of said, let's do the Panama Canal.
Wow.
And so we planned it, but then COVID, and then everybody knows the rest of that story. The cruise was canceled.
Sure.
So it was something that we still wanted to do. And it's just, you talk to people, say, where do you want to cruise? And, a lot of people say, well, I want to do an Alaska cruise. Or, I want to do a Mediterranean cruise. And they always usually mention the Panama Canal too. And it's just cool to go from ocean to ocean and just be a really unique experience. And so that was the reason for that. You and I started talking about it. What's a good cruise to do, and I think it'll be a lot of fun, a lot of great sights, a lot of great ports, and just an incredible trip.
Yeah, we kicked it around. We kicked it around a bit, going back and forth. I think for a couple of
like
weeks,
4 or 5 itineraries we went through in different cruise lines.
Yeah, different cruise lines. We had different itineraries, and then hey, Sue, how are you? I see Sue has joined in. Oh, and Nurse Tara is going on the Eclipse. That's right, you're going on the Eclipse. Do some glass blowing while you're on there. Can be awesome. But here is the cruise that you actually went with. So that is the lovely Oceana Sirena, which we sailed on for the holidays. Maximum of 650 passengers on the entire ship. And this will be March 23rd through April 20th, 2025. 20 nights, 13 ports, 2 canal transits, because you're going to go west, you're going to stay overnight, and then you're going to come back east. Wow. So,
and
I probably don't have to ask you. Go ahead.
That's the unique thing, too, because a lot of cruises just go one way, right? You get 2.
Well, a lot of them don't even go through.
2 transits.
Yeah. So it probably goes without saying, but why did you ultimately go ahead and pick this one?
It was the 2 transits. It was the ports, but then it was a ship too, because we watched video on the ship, and it was just a really nice ship. We liked the layout of it. We liked the look of it. And then you just confirmed that when you were on it over the holidays, and said it was, what a great ship it was, and you had a great time. So it was the 2 transits and but initially the 2 transits and the ports, because there are a lot of ports on there that we kind of wanted to go see and check off.
Yeah. So here you go, folks. This is round trip Miami. So you're going to start in Miami, and this is kind of cool. You're basically going to do a Western Caribbean cruise to start with. So we got Cozumel, Costa Maya, Santo Tomas, Guatemala, which is a different port. Again, small ship can go different places. You'll go to Harvest Key and you go to Roatan. Some of these. Then you go to Puerto Limon, Costa Rica. Then, and what's kind of cool about this, they make sure that both transits are daylight. So on April 1st, you will go westbound through the canal, arriving in Panama at 8 p.m. You'll stay in Panama City. Then you will depart Panama City at 4 a.m. on April 3rd and now go eastbound. So you get to see the entire canal twice in daylight, which is beautiful. Then you're basically sort of kind of going to do an ABC itinerary. You're going to do Cartagena, Santa Marta, Aruba, Curacao, Bonaire, Port Antonio, Jamaica, and then you finally come back to Miami 20 days later.
Yeah, we've done in Caribbean, but ABC is one of the ones that we have to get to. So this takes care of that. So we've done Eastern, Western Caribbean, but not ABC 9. So we haven't covered those. We've done Cozumel and Costa Maya, and those are great ports. It'll be nice to see them again. But looking forward to Jamaica too.
Yeah, and there's a lot of great coffee along the way too. This would be my coffee cruise, where I'd be buying coffee at a lot of these places. Yeah, because when we did our Panama Canal cruise, we only did the partial. We only went into Gatun Lake and then came back out. But I came home with 10 pounds of coffee when
did you really?
Came back
Yeah.
I thought for sure the airport dogs were going to nail me.
Yeah. Thinking you're a drug smuggler trying to camouflage it with the coffee.
Right? That's what they do. They put it in coffee. And I even said to Rebecca when we were on the plane, because we still lived in Atlanta at the time, like, the dogs are going to get me when we get to Atlanta.
Yeah.
So obviously we went on this very ship back during the holidays, and what a juxtaposition too, because we just got off the Icon of the Seas, which is largest ship. Hey, Aaron, how are you? But what I loved about this ship, one of the things I really loved about this ship, obviously one is almost all inclusive, and with the group, you actually get the prepaid gratuity. So while I have this on the screen, Oceana has simply more. So it's 2-for-1 cruise fares, free round trip airfare with free transfers, free shore excursion. So on this particular cruise, you're going to get $1,400 credit per stateroom to book your shore excursions. You get free champagne, wine, and beer with lunch and dinner, free gourmet specialty dining. So every restaurant, every meal is included. Free soft drinks and specialty coffee. That's where they got me, the specialty coffees. I'm like, yes, if that is it. And then free unlimited Wi-Fi. And then because this is a group cruise, we can throw in the prepaid gratuities, which is $720 for the 2 for 20 days. So yeah.
How was the Wi-Fi? Was the Wi-Fi good on the ship?
The Wi-Fi was solid. It wasn't the best. However, the entire fleet will have Starlink by the end of this year.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So by the time you get on it, you will have Starlink on the ship.
Yeah.
So it was decent. It wasn't the best, but then we weren't working with Starlink. But I was able to get work done. And the thing that did work almost flawlessly were the phone calls over Wi-Fi, which was great.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think you and I talked a couple of times while you were on the ship.
We did. We did. And I don't think I tried the live stream, though. I was nervous that the upload just wasn't quite there for the live stream. Greg, that is a great question. Are you going to go through the old or the new? As of right now, it is scheduled to go through the historic locks because obviously it's such a small ship that she can't go through the historic locks. So as of right now, she is scheduled. Of course, things can change. Itineraries can change. But as of right now, she is scheduled to go, which I really hope she does. That's what we did. And it is cool because that's the one that had the ships going in both directions. The new locks is just a one-way. So you don't quite get the experience of the other ship coming past you the other way, which is kind of cool. But yeah, this is scheduled to go through the old locks. And, you know, the pricing. And what's really cool, so you see that I said that, you know, the airfare is included. It's really like a $1,400 or $1,600 credit. So if you don't need the airfare, we can actually reduce the cruise fare by either $1,400 or $1,600. So it's actually a really good deal in and of itself. So I do love that. And then here's the itinerary again while we're chatting. But so what are you know, is there like anything that like you're really looking forward to that you can think of offhand on this one?
Well, a couple of the board, the ABC, and I see Rico is doing ABC on Beyond. Those three are you know, I'm really looking forward to, but mostly it is making sure I'm up on deck in a good spot as we go through the canal, watching how they, you know, guide the ship through, tie it up. I want to watch as much as that, you know, as possible and experience that. So looking forward to that. Yeah.
Cool. And let me just switch this back around like that. So, and if you folks have any questions at all about the cruise itself, Oceana, the ship, feel free to throw it out there. Or maybe you got questions about what Peter's doing. Feel free to throw it in there. Happy to answer your questions as well. So let me lay out some of the experience that you guys are going to be getting, Peter. You know, I love food. And there's a nine that I love food.
Yeah.
So the pool grill, I want to say it was the Waves Grill. Every day at lunch, they have surf and turf. And that's lobster medallions.
Yeah.
Yeah. The lobster medallions with a little piece of sirloin on a sandwich. That was good. But you know what I enjoyed even more? A burger with the lobster medallion on top.
Huh.
And these are fresh made patties. And you know, when you order from the buffet, the hamburgers, the fish, the chicken, whatever it is you're ordering is made to order. It's not just like 50 hamburgers sitting in a tray waiting for you. These are fresh made hamburgers, fresh made French fries, fresh made everything. Oh, and they've got milkshakes sitting over to the side too. All of this is included. Like, you know, you're not going to pay a dime unless you want to get cocktails in between meals. That's really the only thing you're going to pay for on this entire cruise.
With a 20-day cruise brings stretch pants. So I think that's key too.
Yes. I think that's extremely key. And another key factor is this is a luxury cruise line, but it's casual luxury. So no jackets required at dinner. I mean, you can bring a jacket if you want, but no jackets required. I would wear nice dress jeans, and then I have these button-down shirts called Untuck It, so you don't tuck them in.
Oh,
they're out there. Button-down shirt. That's what I wore every night. Didn't matter if I was
Yeah.
going to a Red Ginger, if I went to the Tuscan Steakhouse or the main dining room. It's a casual. It's a casual luxury, which is absolutely beautiful. So, oh, look at this. Look at this. Kathy, if you need some backup, you just let me and Peter know. Let me and Peter know. We'll jump on a video chat with your supervisor. Explain all the reasons why it's good for you. Right, Peter? Yeah.
It is. Yes. It is a way to relieve stress. And in 20 days, you can get rid of a lot of stress.
I'll tell you, Rebecca and I remarked on it when we got off the ship. It was the most relaxed I think we have, maybe since our very first cruise. I think it's the most relaxed we've ever been on a cruise ship. It was just so lovely.
Do you think that was because it was a smaller ship, fewer people, or just the ship itself? Because the ship, I mean, is awesome and nice, but there's a smaller ship, fewer people. Yeah.
I think that's a great question, Peter. I think it's a combination of the two. You know, number one, it's not like this huge laundry list of there's 100 things to do today, so let me kind of keep up and see what I'm going to do. Two, no chair hugs. So like you could go out to the pool any time of the day and it wasn't like stressful. It's like, oh, it's a nice, beautiful padded. Every chair around the pool is padded. Nice, big padded loungers. And so I think the size of it, the laid back, it was a very laid back, casual feel, but the service was so yes sir, yes madame. It was like very proper, but very casual and fun. They were hilarious. They were a great crew. So I think it's just the ship kind of sets the tone, and the ship is a very low key. You know, I told you, like at night, you've got a 9 or 9:30 p.m. show in the lounge. So they don't even call it a theater. It's a lounge, a small theater. Then the casino, I think there's like 6 tables plus a roulette table, and then your slots are very small, low key. You got a piano bar, you got string quartet at night. It's really, the ship is really about socialization. And I think that was the thing, you know, we were all just getting to know each other. So, I think it was a combination of the ship and just the laid back nature of the whole schedule. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's going to be nice. I mean, we've done Oasis class. We haven't done Icon yet, the world's biggest. We've never really had a bad cruise. I guess that's the thing. They're different, you know, a big ship's different than a smaller ship. Every cruise has been, you know, great. I mean, they all had their unique, the ships were a little unique. Knock on wood. I mean, I'm not going to knock, the dogs will start barking, but the knock on wood, we've never had a bad cruise. So we've had some bad weather, but not a bad cruise.
So. You know, I often wonder about some of these folks who are just like, that ship is just so big, there's no way I'm getting on it. And part of me is like, well, I like the big ships. The big ship bring a whole different energy to your cruise. You know, like when we were on Icon, only had 3 days, but my God, what a gorgeous ship. Amazing ship. The Sirena would fit in Central Park. You know, you could just drop that ship right into Central Park and that would be that. There were more people in the theater than there were on the entire ship. Like two Sirenas were sitting in the theater with us. But to me, I'm really glad that we have all these choices, because sometimes you want that, right? You want the crazy 6 water slides and the ice skating and the big shows. And then other times you just want to sit and watch the sunset all day. You know, ocean all day.
I think where we really fell in love with cruising was on Alaska. We flew in and out of, we flew into Seattle. We spent a couple of days in Seattle touring the city. And then we got on the ship, the Solstice, Celebrity Solstice. But I remember, I can picture it right now in my mind. The first morning after we departed, I woke up and I opened the curtains and there were icebergs going by. You know, and you know, we're in the inside passage, so you know, you could see, you know, eagles and all the animals, and I just thought, wow, I mean, what a, you know, your hotel room has icebergs going by. And then you can do, we didn't do the pool because even though it was July, it was Alaska, it was still nippy. But but I mean, that was just that's what cruising does. I mean, you can just experience, and you show up, you unpack, and then your hotel room moves.
Yeah.
So, that's, I think, what did it for us was that trip, and just being able to experience all that and not have to pack, unpack, and travel around. So yeah, that's what I think, that's really what did it for us, was that cruise, that trip.
That's
And then,
amazing. I mean,
yeah. And then I
yeah.
think I showed you earlier, we have a map set up over here where we have color coded pins of all the cruises that we want to take, all the spots that we want to go to. So
Nice.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I didn't even want to go on our first one. I've talked about this in the past, but Rebecca basically dragged me onto the Caribbean Princess, and she books a 14-day for our very first one. And we don't do anything easy, Rebecca and I. And what got me, it's kind of like you, it was like the second day we booked one or two more cruises, because it was that first morning when I woke up, and it was like, wow, I don't have to get off the ship. We can just go get some breakfast. I can go play some games, go hang out by the pool. Tonight we're going to go see the show. And I was like, and then I thought the same thing you did. Geez, gosh, it's just a big hotel, and it moves around, and it takes us to different places. And I don't have to get in a car, go to the restaurant, get in the car again, go to the show, come back to the hotel. And that's what hooked it for me. It's just the convenience of everything being right there. And then, of course, once you meet the crew for the first time, oh, forget it. You're like, I want to take all y'all home because you're the best.
Yeah. And it's really interesting meeting the crew members too, and finding out about where they're from, because they're always all from different countries. And you get a chance to talk to them and learn a little bit about, what life is like where they live, and their culture. And we've met, I just go through my mind just all the different cool people that we've met on these cruises, crew members and guests too.
Wow.
So it's really amazing. So, we get the YouTube trolls now and then who jump on a video and put a comment, I would never go on a cruise. And I always respond back, then why the heck are you watching a video on cruising?
I know.
So
because I'm angry and I'm going to find something to complain about. Yeah, I know. I know. Join my TikTok live stream sometimes. You will see a lot of that. About that. Aaron,
hey,
great
you got a question there. Yeah,
I do. Aaron is asking, Walter, did 14 days feel like too much for your first cruise? Well, we kept cruising, so I guess not. No, I distinctly remember. So it was a back-to-back is what it was. Princess is one of the only cruise lines that does it. They'll actually sell like Eastern, Western Caribbean as one cruise. Instead of having to book twice, you can just book one room and do it at the back-to-back. And I remember, we came back into Fort Lauderdale and just being so happy that we didn't have to get off the ship. All these people are like, oh, well, I'll cruise it over. And I just remember just being so gleeful that we had another week to enjoy the ship. Now we got the whole ship figured out, and now it's ours for the next week. So, Aaron, I would say in our case, no. And I don't know about you, Peter, but I always recommend to people, I really think that a 7-night cruise really is the best first cruise, because those shorter cruises, sometimes they tend to be a party cruise, and two, the way those cruises are run can sometimes be a little bit more hectic than the 7-night when you've got more time to spread out.
Yeah, I think you're right. And we love sea days too. I know not everyone does. Some people don't like sea days.
Right.
We like them because you wake up, there's nothing, there's no itinerary. I mean, that, you have the whole day to just, you go eat breakfast and then walk the ship. There's plenty to do on a cruise ship. And so a 7-day typically gives you, probably 2 sea days at least. And I think you're right. 7 days is a good cruise, a good cruise length, because number one, it takes a while to figure out the ship, where everything is, to get the lay of the land, especially in the bigger ships.
Right.
And
I think this took us the least amount of time, the Sirena. It took us about 30 minutes to figure the ship out. Although we did keep getting confused as to what was in the back, what was in the front, because there were certain things that Oh, yeah, I'll tell you what. One of the coolest things. I'm going to talk about the ship just a little bit, but let me put up the. I'm going to put up this shot here for a minute. So you can see the area in the back, right behind the pool. There is a library back there. You might think this is the weirdest thing, because I asked everybody, what's the hidden treasure on this ship, and everybody said the library. And the library is gorgeous. Let me tell you. And it really is. It's got the big leather chairs in there. Like if the fireplace was going, it would be like the best. And then it's got this mural on the ceiling. I've got all this content that I haven't released from the ship yet that I still need to release. But it's got this mural of like a conservatory painted onto the ceiling with all these birds and stuff. And the history of these ships is that there was an ocean company called Renaissance Cruises that built 8 of these ships. Yeah, so they built 8 identical ships, and Oceana has 4 and Azamara has 4. So they're all sisters. And they said that when they renovated the Sirena, they purposely just left it, that library. They left that library untouched because it was just so beautiful. And it is
I haven't seen the ceiling. I saw a video of the library, but I haven't seen the ceiling. So that'll be interesting to see.
Yeah. So that's because I haven't put it out there yet. I need to put it out there.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But the thing about the Oceana Sirena, the other cool thing is that where the lifeboats are is where essentially the promenade is. You are so close to the water when you're standing out there, you forget what it's like to be that close to the water when the ship is like to actually get the spray kicking up onto you when it's a little rough, because you're on deck 6. You're not on deck 8 or 9 standing out there where you're nice and safe and way up above the water. You're like right down in there with the water. And that was, I remember Rebecca and I walked out there for the first time and like, oh my God, we're like really close to the water down here. And it was awesome. In fact, there were some days that the water was kind of rough, and they're like, they had it locked off because there was a lot of spray coming up over it. But I'm telling you, there is something about, I just fell in love with this ship from the moment we stepped onto it, because it really is, I don't want to say it's a time warp or step back in time, but I said to Rebecca, this is probably as close to getting on the original Love Boat as we would ever get. Which I thought was kind of cool.
It looked very elegant, I guess is a good word for it, in the videos that we've seen so far. So very clean,
absolutely beautiful.
Yeah,
the clean ship. It's a beautiful ship, small ship, and oh my God, the afternoon tea was great. Wasn't as good as we were hoping that it was going to be, but it was still good. And they have a very unique restaurant on this ship too. And she is right up in the glass there at the very top in the front is where the restaurants are. And what they've done with this ship, because they have space for 2 specialty dining restaurants up in the front. And they have Toscano, which is an Italian restaurant. They have Polo Grill Steakhouse. And then Red Ginger is an Asian restaurant. And,
They're in the back.
Oh, they're in the back? Oh, Rebecca's saying they're in the back. That's right. They are in the back. They're not in the front. They're in the back. I thought they were in the front, up on top. But no, they're in the back.
Did the Asian restaurant have a sushi bar?
It doesn't have a sushi bar. No, but they have sushi in the buffet. That's actually quite good.
Okay.
But what they did on this ship, because they only have space for 2, they took Polo Grill and Toscano and they blended them together into Tuscan steak. So it's an Italian steakhouse.
Yeah.
Which is great. Now, with the 12 nights that we were on it, we really only had time to do each of them once because we had so many other things going on. But you should have the opportunity to go in there multiple times. But Red Ginger was great. Tuscan steak was great. And then the grand dining room, which is the main dining room, I would say that's better than most specialty dining that you've had on every other ship out there.
Yeah.
It's that good. It's that good. And the service is way over the top. Oh, Aaron, what'd you do? Oh, yeah, that's right. You and your wife love sea days. He just booked the Discovery Princess with me yesterday. It's a 4-day LA to Vancouver, only sea days, no stops.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's a nice itinerary. Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be really nice for those guys to do that. And A Frisbee, so happy to hear our first cruise. You finally convinced your husband to go on a cruise. Yay! Hello, husband. Welcome to the family. He said go big or go home. So we're doing 7 nights on Princess. So our first 3 cruises were all on Princess. And that's because Rebecca is a massive fan of the Love Boat. So, of course, we had to go on Princess first. Love Princess. Everybody always asks me, what's your favorite cruise line? And I always say, it's whatever ship I'm on right now. What about you, Peter? Do you have a favorite cruise line, or do you just like to go cruising?
Ooh, that is a good question. I'm kind of the opinion that, my favorite cruise is the one I'm on right now. I guess, we kind of lean towards Celebrity.
Good cruise line.
But we want to try every cruise line. So it's not that,
right.
So, and we love Royal too. We've had tons of Royal great cruises.
Royal's fun.
Yeah. And so in fact, I got to talk to you about for 2026, Royal goes to Hawaii, and then it's 5 sea days up to Vancouver. And Aaron's got that 4 days on Princess. And we thought that'd be a cool itinerary too, do the Hawaiian Islands, and then just have 5 days of sea going up to Canada. So yeah.
We've got to see if Norwegian's ever going to do that Spirit itinerary again that we sent Stephanie on last year, where they did the Hawaiian Islands and they went up and actually did Alaska. It was like 2 itineraries in one cruise.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Amazing.
And that's that's dramatically different too, doing Hawaii and then going up to Alaska in the same cruise. Yeah.
It was a full Alaska itinerary. So it was awesome.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Rick, that was our first ship. The Caribbean Princess was our very first ship.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I have a soft spot in my heart for that ship. That ship is actually the one that's coming up to Port Canaveral. So we might have to sneak out onto her when she gets up here.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. She's the one coming up to Port Canaveral.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're bringing up one of the Solstice class ships too. Celebrity's bringing up a Solstice. I mean, we got so many ships coming to Port Canaveral. It's crazy. Where are they going to put them all?
It's a great port. It's conveniently located, and and plus people fly in. They can either do Disney World, SeaWorld, or they can do Kennedy Space Center. Or do all of them. They have enough time. Yeah.
Well, and now thanks to the Brightline, we can do it all. The Brightline suddenly connects South Florida and Orlando, and whoever idea it was to put the Brightline terminal in the airport was freaking brilliant, absolutely freaking brilliant. And I don't know how many of you watching this even knew that, but the train station is in the airport. So you fly in, you hop on a train, you go to Miami, or you fly in, you go to Disney World, Universal, do all that stuff, go back to the airport, catch the train. And then when you're ready to leave Miami, you come right back to the airport and get on your plane. It's so freaking brilliant. Absolutely freaking brilliant. So that kind of ties all that in together now. But that's what's coming up. And one of the Solstice class ships, I can't remember which one, but one of the Celebrity Solstice class ships is coming up too.
I wonder if it's Equinox.
Could be.
I don't know. Yeah.
Don't remember. I think it's one of the ones that has the glass blowing on it. So that would be Equinox, Eclipse, and Solstice.
Yeah.
So
that glass blowing. I'll tell you what. We had been on Solstice before, didn't do it, and then we thought, well, let's give it. It was pretty cool, and we enjoyed it. It was interesting to see. They walk you through everything. They hand walk you through it. They have to.
Exactly.
But, I made a jellyfish, and I think it came out.
Did you really?
Good. Yeah. So
I made a tumbler.
Yeah.
Did you? Out so good.
It's
good.
The jellyfish effect came out okay.
Really? Oh, I might have to try that next time. I like that idea.
Yeah.
Greg, have I heard anything about Virgin doing a Panama Canal cruise? Oh, that's kind of a sore subject right now. You can't ask anybody. That means we have to mention the B word that nobody's talking about at Virgin Voyages right now. That would be the brilliant lady that nobody wants to talk about at Virgin for whatever reason. So, Virgin Voyages, if you don't know, if you're watching this, you don't know what we're talking about. Virgin Voyages currently has three lady ships sailing out there. They are absolutely identical. However, none of them can go through the Panama Canal because they have the lifeboats hanging over the side. You can't have lifeboats hanging over the side because they will smash into the walls of the of the canal. So everything has to be flush to the ship. Like the ship has to be completely flush in order to go through the canal. So they made modifications to the Brilliant Lady where the lifeboats are now flush with the walls. They moved them in. They actually created another cabin category. The balconies are smaller because the lifeboats are basically right up against the balcony. And they also squared up the aft because the aft kind of flares out on the first 3 lady ships. They squared that up as well. So the ship is designed to go through the Panama Canal. Now, the ship was supposed to have been released for the New Year's 2023 going into 2024. At the last minute, and literally we were selling that ship right up until they announced it, they canceled the ship about 3.5 months, 4 months before the first sailing. And that's it. That's all we've heard since then. Now, at one point, there was a call with Virgin Voyages, and there was a map of 2025, and Brilliant Lady was sitting in the 4th quarter of 2025, but that was it. It's just a word, Brilliant Lady, nothing. But if I ask anybody at Virgin Voyages about it, they won't talk about it. So,
wow.
So Virgin Voyages, in theory, built a ship to go through the Panama Canal, but they have not taken delivery of it, and that's all we know.
That's interesting because you wonder how far finished that ship was.
Basically done. It's basically done.
Rick and Steven said it is the Equinox going out of
It
Port
is
Canaveral.
the Equinox.
So
love it.
that.
Thank you, Steve.
Love Equinox. Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
And Kathy has done it a bunch of times at Corning Glass. So that's the thing, you know, it used to be the Corning Glass show, and we've seen it both ways. The first time we were on the Equinox, it was the Corning show where they were doing amazing things with glass. And then the second time we went on, it was the Hollywood Hot Glass show where you get to do it. And in some ways, I kind of wish it was still the Corning, because they made amazing pieces of glass, and it was really interesting to watch them like do their thing, because then you get to see what can really be done.
Yeah.
And then maybe let us do it as well. But I still remember we had 3 women on our first Equinox cruise, and they were amazing, absolutely amazing. So, but yeah, glass blowing, like people, honest to goodness, glass blowing on a cruise ship, so cool.
Yeah.
So freaking cool. And do it at night.
It's funny because there are no open flames allowed on a cruise ship. That's why they don't have any candles anywhere. Yet they have the glass blowing, which is a 2,000 degree furnace. So, but the floor and everything around it's metal, and so.
Yeah, but it's electric, and it's right there, and smart enough they put it right there at the funnel, so all the heat just goes right up off the ship. So that was the thing that stunned me too, is that it was actually electric, because they can't run the flames in there. So yes, you are correct, Kathy. The glass artists are incredibly talented. So, and if any of you are tuning in late, that thing you're seeing there on the side, Peter. So Peter with Cruise RX is hosting. Him and his wife Barbara are hosting this insane Panama Canal full transit cruise. You're going to go through the canal twice over 20 days. March 23rd through April 20th, 2025. You will be sailing on the Oceana Sirena, 650 passengers. This thing is 30,000 gross tons, okay? The Icon of the Seas, I think, is 260,000 gross tons.
I think that's right,
Just to give you an idea. Hey, Brant, how are you? Thanks for joining in. On the Oceana Sirena, this is nearly all inclusive. So if you're going to go on this cruise, you got 2-for-1 cruise fares. You got round trip airfare with free airport transfers. You got shore excursion credit up to $1,400 to do stuff off the ship. You got free champagne, wine, and more with lunch and dinner. You got free specialty dining, gourmet dining. The whole ship is gourmet dining. Everything on the ship is included. All of the meals are included. Even room service is included, and your room service is made fresh when you order it. It's not just sitting there. You get free soft drinks and specialty coffee. You get free unlimited Wi-Fi. I mean, really, the only thing left to pay are the gratuities, but with the group, the gratuities are included, which is a $720 value right there in and of itself. So, 1, you're going on an amazing bucket list itinerary. 2, you're going on an amazing frickin' ship to experience the Panama Canal as well. And that's why Peter picked it. I'm sorry, Peter.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
No. I was just echoing what you said. No, you made some good points. No, no, we're excited to see the ship. It'll be our first Oceana cruise. We haven't cruised with them before.
You're going to love it.
But when we were going through the itineraries, we watched videos on all the ships that that we were discussing, and they were all nice ships. There wasn't a bad one among them, but this one just kind of stood out among the rest. And then along with the itinerary and the 2 transits, that kind of sealed the deal.
Yeah, it's such a unique thing. I mean, when Peter came to me, we started kicking around the idea, and we probably found a dozen to start with.
Mm-hmm.
I think we presented 4 of them to you,
yeah,
and they were all good. I mean, your usual players. And this one, I just remember Rebecca going, "Oh my gosh!" And I turned to look at the screen. I was like, "What do you got?" She's like, "Look at this! Look at this! Look at this!" I was like, "Wow!" And then I was like, "Great, we're going to Alaska the next month, so obviously we're not going to do this because we can't do 2 cruises in a row like that."
That's 2 long cruises far away too. Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah, because we're already we have the Norwegian Aqua literally 3 weeks before we go to Alaska, so that was already enough for us to do. So, hey, Aaron's got a question for you. He sailed Royal, Princess, and Carnival. Is going to be sailing Celebrity for the first time this July on Reflection. He's doing a Caribbean cruise. Any advice for a Celebrity first timer?
Wow. Really, Celebrity does a really good job when it comes to service. All the food is good. Sometimes the buffets can be questionable depending on the cruise line. Not always the best food. But we've always found the buffets very, very good. The specialty dining is nice. Celebrity also has most of the ships have the martini bar, which is just a lot of fun. They're frozen bars, so there's ice on top of the bar, and that seems to be the most popular hangout. And we put a video on the channel where the bartender there did a 15 pour drink. So he made 15 martini, little mini ones, 15 martinis, and then stacked the mixers, and then poured it at one time. And it was just like everyone was enjoying themselves. So you'll love Celebrity. They do a great job. Make sure that you do try some of the specialty dining. That would be my advice. I think you'll enjoy the specialty dining. So definitely check that out as well. Yeah.
So what's even more impressive is Captain Kate blindfolded in her Jimmy Choo's doing it while standing on the bar. Have you seen that video?
No, I heard about it, but you know what? I need to find it. Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Now that she's in her heels on the bar doing it blindfolded. I'm like, all right, she wins.
Yeah. It was funny. We were on MSC. Well, we were on the seashore a few weeks ago, and we were talking to a crew member, a female crew member, and she recognized the channel. We had lanyards on, and we were just chatting. We said, "Yeah, we're going on Beyond in a few months with Captain Kate." And she said, "Yeah, MSC, you'll never see a female captain." And I was like, "Well, why?" And she said, "It's just the Italian culture." And I said, "Well, that's depressing, especially because she was female." And I felt bad for her, but I said, well, go to Celebrity, go to Royal Caribbean, or anybody else. But so I don't know if that's true or not, but you hope it's not true, that they don't, that that's not the case.
I got some Italian heritage in me. I have to believe it probably is true, knowing how they run that cruise line. But I will tell you, Aaron, you're going on the Reflection. We've been on the Reflection, loved it. Here's my guilty pleasure. They're the only cruise line that I've seen that does this. They do like a British breakfast. They have like one area that's a British breakfast. And in that British breakfast is fried toast. I don't know why, but when I go on those ships, every freaking morning, I get some fried toast. I get some eggs. I get some bacon, and I make a fried toast sandwich. Dude, I'm telling you, fried toast is a revelation.
I got Nurse Tara pointed out La Petite Chef. She is exactly right. We do that on
Yeah.
every celebrity ship. And have you done Le Petit Chef?
We have
you-
not. No. We're still
It's
mourning the loss of cuisine, the original cuisine
yeah.
that it replaced. But
It's an amazing, it's a show where they every table, every seat at every table has the projector, and
right,
it's
right.
a movie of this little cartoon character chef preparing a meal, and then they bring out the actual food. It's really, really, really
Right.
good show. And they change it on a
Right.
7-day cruise. It's 2 different menus.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So
Uh,
definitely a good
so
pick.
I know everybody loves the martini bar, but my bar is actually the world-class bar. It's a quieter bar.
Yep.
They only make I think they make a dozen drinks, and that's it. Like, you can't even go there and ask for a beer because they don't have beer. They make like these 12 drinks, and they make them so good. And that's where I got hooked on the old fashioned. That's the first place I had a really good old fashioned.
Yep.
So I'll enjoy the show at the martini bar, but you're going to find me at the world-class bar. That's where I'm going to be on that.
And if we're on Royal, we like the bamboo bar. We talked about that.
Dude, I'm so excited for the Utopia and that pesky parrot, which is going to be a bigger version of it. But yeah, Mariner, bamboo bar. That's where we got introduced to the dark and stormy. What a great drink. Love that.
I've got,
in fact, I love the
we
ship.
have 3 or 4 of those parrot glasses. So it's right.
I'm
during the summertime we'll drink out of them just so it feels like we're on a cruise. We have at least the glass going. So well,
and I got over 40 hours of scenes from cruise ships. You can just pop one of those on your screen. Just have that in the background while you have your drink. You can just be watching the wake while you're having a drink.
That is a good way to sleep, though, Walter.
I'm telling you.
You put that on your TV in your bedroom, that is a good way to fall asleep. Absolutely.
I know. In fact, I've been meaning to. I see how some people have like these 10-hour loops. I've been meaning to stretch one out to like 10 hours. So you can just play it all night as white noise.
Yeah.
I know. Scotch on the Rocks. Rick's going with Scotch on the Rocks. Rick is a classic right there, man. I love it. And so folks, again, if you're just tuning in or you're watching the replay, so we have an amazing Peter and his wife are going to be hosting this amazing Panama Canal cruise. We are booking it right now. Bookings are open, and I'm just so excited for you guys because we're actually going to be on an Oceania cruise too in June. We're going to be on the big ship with 1,200 people. Oh my God, 12! I don't know what we're going to do. 1,200 people. I think it's going to be too much. But this ship, I mean, if you've never been on a small ship, maybe you've only been on I think Becky was on earlier. I think the Island Princess is around 2,200 passengers. So that was the smallest ship we had been on up until this point.
Yeah.
But it is it's a different way of cruising, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And it's spectacular. I think this is like the ship, excuse me, for the Panama Canal. This could not be a more perfect ship for the Panama Canal.
Well,
and you're going to get
and you mentioned earlier too the fact that it's a smaller ship. You can go through the historic locks, which is really. Obviously we haven't been yet, but from talking to people, apparently those are the locks that if you have a choice, you want to do the historic locks. So
you do.
Yeah,
you do, because that's the 2-way lock. So you've got a ship coming to you while you're going through. And then once you see how the mules work, the mules are so cool. Those little trains that pull you along. It's just so amazing how that works. Oh, so Nurse Tara. So would you agree with Nurse Tara, Peter? Because Aaron is saying he has one specialty dinner probably on a 4-night cruise. Would it be Le Petit Chef?
100%. Yeah.
On there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Because it's not only great food, it's a really cool show. And if you go to, I've got, and Walt, you may have one. I have a Equinox ship review on the channel. If you pull that video up, I have a lot of footage from the Le Petit Chef, so you can see what the show is like. But
awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely. Nurse Tara's right. Yeah. If you have to choose, you have one. Le Petit Chef. Yeah.
For me, I might lean into Murano as the one. If I only had one to choose from, I might go to Murano.
That's
Get that
good
lobster.
too. Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that lobster's so good. Alaska and beyond loves small ship cruising 500 or less. Yeah, I love cruise ships. So yeah, going on the Sirena was amazing, and I know there's a lot of people who are like, that's it. I want these, like my Viking Ocean, my Windstars, my Seabourns, my Oceana. It's funny because the other cruise lines could do this. Like Royal Caribbean's already talked about, hey, they have a project right now to build a small ship, but it's not going to be that small.
Yeah.
But there is something about it's so quiet, it's so relaxing. So yeah, I'm with you there.
Yeah, we're a big fan of Mariner, and we love that ship.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. That's a great ship. Celeste checked out some of your videos earlier. You did the Panama Canal on the Coral Princess, another beautiful ship.
Wow.
Fabulous ship. Yeah. I like the small princess ships. They're really, we were on the island. I think the Coral is her sister. Just lovely, lovely small ship. In fact, we did Alaska on the Sapphire Princess, which was a great size for that. I think as of right now, there's like 350 cruise ships out there. And man, if there was a way to cruise all of them, except one, I totally would. The Margaritaville Paradise, I won't go on there. But for those of you who have been watching me, I am planning to go on the Islander. I am going to try out that Margaritaville Islander just because it's a real
I'm willing to try it out too. Yeah. I will not go on the one out of Palm Beach. Not going to do it.
Paradise.
No, not after seeing Ben and David's video. And talk to them about it.
I didn't even need to see it.
No, and then talk to them about it. So, but those guys are so professional, and did a great job in the video, but it was bad.
Yeah.
But I will check out the new ship, and hopefully this is going to leave out of Tampa, and hopefully it's a game changer for them.
Hopefully, yeah, I'll do it. Yeah. So Becky is doing Alaska on the Coral in 25.
Nice.
Alaska, we still lean into Princess. Tried and true, Princess is the best, and especially if you're doing a land sea tour. I mean, Princess. Your choices really are Princess, Princess, and Princess. If you're going to do the land tour, they are the best. Oceana has kind of opened our eyes with some of these 12-night itineraries that they have, so you get to see more. And the other thing that Oceana really opened up for us too, we have like 12 to 15 hours in most of our ports. That was a long stop.
That's
even
good,
Victoria is 12 hours, not just a 3-hour token stop. So I was like, all right.
Yeah, I like that. When MSC, we went to the private island. It was overnight. That was nice.
Yeah,
so
that's really nice. Aaron, Peter, or anyone, is it hard to go back to Celebrity Solstice after experiencing the Edge class?
That's a good question. I've done both, and I'll tell you, they're two different ships. So the Solstice class smaller ship has the grass. Of course, up top, which I think are not. I mean, we all have grass in our yards. I don't know, but it's really cool being on grass on a cruise ship. And just love the layout of the Solstice class. But the Edge classes, we've been on Celebrity Edge, and it's a beautiful ship too. So I can't say that we, when we book a cruise, if it's between those two ships, we're happy either way. So it really boils down to the itinerary. Because I know we're going to be happy on a Solstice class or an Edge class. Now, the magic carpet on Edge is really cool, especially when they lower it down to the water. That is a unique feature. Right. So,
I would say, Aaron, it's not hard to go. They're two different experiences, and the Solstice class is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, it's a gorgeous ship. The Beyond is the Edge class is a gorgeous ship. So no, Celebrity does a really good job, and even stepping all the way back down to the Millennium class. It's not that big a deal. Douglas, you booked yourself on the NCL Encore to Alaska, wondering if you made a mistake. Going to Alaska is never a mistake. I would say that is not the first ship that I would ever present to a client unless they had kids that need a lot of things to do. If you got kids that need a lot of things to do, because that ship is big. It's a really big ship. Like Royal Caribbean sends the Quantum class up there. I think that's too big as well. It's just too many people for the ports where you want to be on a smaller ship if possible. But there are reasons why you might take a big ship up there. So I don't think it's a mistake necessarily. It's just it's not the first ship that I always lean into the smaller ships, like your Sapphire Princesses, your Coral Princess, certainly the Oceana ships, something like that. What do you think, Peter? You think that's too? It's one of those ships that has the go-kart track. It's around 4,200 people.
Yeah, I was thinking two things. Well, yeah, I mean, because the ports can get overwhelmed, and the other thing, if you're going to Skagway, make sure you do the train tour through the mountains. Very nice. But yeah, I mean, we went on Celebrity Solstice to Alaska. I think that's what, Walter, 3,000 maybe?
3,200, 3,500 maybe?
Yeah.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, I mean, it was manageable. We had all the excursions pre-booked, so there wasn't any issue there. But I think a smaller ship would be, less people, so less time waiting in line on anything. But it was such a nice cruise. You're going to love Alaska. You're going to love the inside passes. So no matter what, you're going to have a great time. Love it. Yeah, but if you go to Skagway, do the train, book it early. It's an amazing trip. So
yeah. And if you don't do the train, do the helicopter to the dog sled camp. Oh my God. Yeah. Amazing.
Yep.
Now look at Alaska and beyond. He's going on to Paul. How do you say it? Gauguin?
Gauguin. Yeah. Gauguin, right? I think it's Gauguin.
Maybe it's Gauguin. Yeah. I tell you what a ship.
I've heard about that ship.
Tahiti for 11 nights.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's just an amazing cruise line. That's just the best of everything, basically. So yeah. Beautiful. Great job. Nice choice. I think we were talking to a client about one of theirs recently. So yeah, that's just absolutely stunning. So wow, nice. Have an amazing time. Yeah. Mary's going on the Ruby Princess from Fort Lauderdale to LA next month. You listen to the Path Between the Seas. Oh, by David McCulloch. That was very, very cool. Wow. And then you also watched a show done 10 years ago called The Nerve Center, and there's an episode about Panama Canal. Thanks, Mary. That's awesome. So yeah, Fort Lauderdale to LA next month. Oh, that's right.
That's a cool itinerary. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great itinerary there. So let's see, Aaron, you did Royal Caribbean Ovation of the Seas May 20th. Oh, it didn't hit some of the smaller ports. It was a life-changing. Yeah, that's the thing. You go to Alaska. I mean, Alaska, to me, Alaska is the star. And that's why I like to send people on smaller ships, because you're really not going to have a lot of time to do the things that are on the big ship anyway. You're going to be off doing your things. Yeah. But if you can go on a small ship, but I don't think there's ever a mistake in booking to Alaska. It's going to be absolutely freaking amazing. Living in Alaska. That's just kind of funny. He doesn't get to see nearly as much of Alaska. I'll tell you what, I born and raised in New York. I've still yet to go to the Statue of Liberty.
I was thinking, I live in Florida and I hardly ever go to the beach. It's so
right, right,
and it's right there. Yeah,
right. And Disney World is 35 minutes away, and I struggle to get there because we're working so hard.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
it's so true. It's so true. This is great. Douglas, did we happen to see the Celebration Key? It looked halfway decent. I think it looked more than halfway decent. It looks pretty damn amazing. Obviously now everybody wants to compare it to Coco Cay. I don't know, but it's going to be its own thing. I think it's going to be a game changer for Carnival, certainly. And now what that'll probably do, that'll open up Princess, Holland America. Now they'll have another place to go to, just like, Celebrity is now visiting Coco Cay. So I wouldn't be surprised if you start seeing some of the other Carnival brands visiting Celebration Key, because, you can put two ships there. So why not?
Yeah.
But I think it's more than halfway decent. I think it's going to be pretty doggone amazing, to be honest with you. I'm really excited to go check it out at some point. Have you seen it yet, Peter?
I've seen the videos on it. Obviously, I've been to Coco Cay several times, and we went to MSC. Both islands are totally different from each other, and both fantastic. Had a great time on both of them. Yeah, would happily go back to either one again at any time.
I actually, and I've said it on here, I like Ocean Key. I think that's my favorite private island,
Yeah.
more so than
Yeah.
Coco Cay, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It's just so natural. It's beautiful. And I love that
Yep.
the ship is right there. You don't have to go
Yeah.
like way down the pier to get to it. It's like literally right there. Because the worst part about Ocean Key is the lunch. It's just not that
Yeah.
great. So we just walk
Yeah.
back to the ship.
Yeah. And
Do
because
that.
it was
So yeah.
overnight, there was no rush. You could go back and forth on the ship, change.
Right.
Yeah, and what a nice island. I mean, what a great job they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they had I was impressed too with the facilities for the staff. I mean, they had nice, there were condos, but
Yeah.
really nice setup for the staff that lives there.
Yeah, it was really nice. I wish we could get a
yeah.
tour of it, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It's really, really nice. So,
Yeah.
all right, Peter, we've been going a little bit over an hour. I don't want to keep you
Yep.
too long. I appreciate your time. What I'm going to do, folks, let's run through this one more time. So, if you would like to join Peter and his wife Barbara on this amazing cruise, this is it. You're going to be going on the Oceana Sirena. You're going to be going in March of next year. So we will not, Rebecca and I won't be on the cruise. Peter is hosting this as part of Cruise RX. I'm sure you'll have some things to do on there with everybody.
Yep.
And so with Oceana, you get 2-for-1 cruise fares. You get the free round trip airfare, or we give you a $1,600 discount if you don't want the airfare. Free shore excursion, so $1,400 credit per stateroom. You're going to get free champagne, wine, and more with lunch and dinner. Free gourmet specialty dining. That means literally everything on the ship is included when it comes to food, including, I didn't even mention this yet, at the buffet every single night, cook to order, lobster, shrimp, catch of the day, sirloin steak, and lamb chop every single night on the buffet. That was available. You got free soft drinks and specialty coffee all day long, and you got free unlimited Wi-Fi. And because Peter is putting together a group, you're going to get included gratuities, which is a $720 value. This is the crazy itinerary that you're going to be doing. You'll leave Miami, go to Cozumel, Costa Maya, Santo Tomas, Guatemala. You go to Harvest Key, Belize. You go to Roatan. You go to Puerto Limon, Costa Rica. Then you're going to go through the Panama Canal. You're going to go westbound. You arrive in Panama at 8 p.m. Stay overnight in Panama City. Come back the other way, eastbound, both directions. It will be in the full daylight, so you will have a spectacular view of the canal in both directions. Then you'll hit Cartagena, Colombia, Santa Marta, Colombia, Aruba, Curacao, Bonaire. There's the ABC Islands for you. And then Port Antonio, Jamaica, before you finally come back to Miami 20 days after you started. Peter, that's insane.
Yeah, you had me at lobster, by the way. So
I had you at lobster. I had myself a specialty coffee.
Yeah. It's lobster for me. Yeah, I love lobster. So.
I'll tell you what, man, you walk up there and you're just like, yeah, I'll have a lobster. And then like even at the buffet, so the buffet is very small, obviously small ship, but like you want a hamburger, they got to make it for you. It's not just sitting there. You want a hot dog, they're going to make it for you. It's like every little thing.
That's good. Looking forward to it. Yeah.
Oh my God, dude. You're going to have so much fun. And anybody that wants to go with Peter, seriously, let us know. So we can put you on the ship and send you on this thing.
Yeah. Looking forward to it.
Peter, what's your channel again? What's your handle?
Cruise-RX is the channel. And the website is just cruise-rx.com.
So it's cruise and then -RX.
Yep.
Everywhere.
And then,
all right. And then you can find his website as well. He's got a lot of tips and tricks up there. And his channel is growing by leaps and bounds. You've got a lot of great content on there. I'm very honored and proud that we are your travel partner. Thank you so much for believing in us.
Thank you for all your help. No, thank you.
Absolutely. Aaron, I take it with just a little bit of cream. He's asking how I take my coffee with just a little bit of cream. How about you, Peter? How do you take yours?
2 equal or sweet and low. Any of those is fine. No cream.
Stephanie, our dear friend Stephanie, is usually 4.
4 sweet and low. Yeah, that'd be a little too much. 2 is just right. Yeah.
I watched her put it in the first time. I'm like, is there coffee in there, Stephanie? I mean, my goodness. I guess that's why she's so sweet. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, hey, oh, Kathy, thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning
Thank
in.
you
Peter,
guys. Yeah.
I can't thank you enough for coming on tonight and sharing your story and telling us all about this amazing cruise.
Well, I appreciate the invitation. It was great being here, and thank you everybody for watching.
Thank you so much. Now you sit tight, and I'm going to talk to you in just a second. But everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. And just remember, if we can help you in any way, we are a full-service travel advisor. So we do cruise, land, expedition, luxury. So where's WalterTravel.com? As always, our services are 100% free to you. Why wouldn't you use a travel advisor? Take advantage of all of our knowledge. So to everybody out there, thank you so much for tuning in. Remember, Sunday mornings, we're live from 10:30 to noontime Eastern time, and then we'll be back here next Thursday. Oh, this Sunday, we've got Tamika coming back from Virgin Voyages. Always a fun guest. So, Peter, thank you so much. And everybody, have a fabulous evening.
Thank you.